This is JR Tech and Software.
Hello guys, and I just welcome to this video. I am starting to edit it. It is a big project, but I just want to give you a bit of a disclaimer, and that is that this is not going to be your traditional video that I upload. This is going to be kind of like a vlog type video, and so if you don't want to hear me ramble on doing and stuff, then go ahead and find another video. Also note that about 3/4 of the way through, Kazam stopped recording my audio, and so right now I'm going through and watching that footage so that I can give you at least something to listen to, and at least a bit of a narration. But anyways, except for those two things, go ahead and enjoy the video. Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. This is gonna be a bit of a longer video, but it is gonna document me moving off of Windows 7. I'm actually recording this earlier in the week. It is actually the 13th. Windows 7 doesn't die until tomorrow, but I figured that it's about time I start recording my journey, because I'm already done some things, but in this little video here I want you to see how I moved off of Windows 7 and pretty much everything that I did. I have done some things before this first recording here. This is going to be like a little vlog type video. So if we go into this here, you can see this is a complete backup except for this trash of all of my virtual machines from both my partitions. For those of you that didn't know, this is a dual root system between Windows 7 and Ubuntu 16.04. I am in Ubuntu right now. So these are all my Windows virtual machines, like my Windows 95 one here. This is my Windows 98 one, my NT4 one. This is Windows XP. This is Vista. And then we got some other things like, here I have Android Oreo, which is just a random thing that I put in here. Alright, so I have done my backup work with VMs. I have also done backup work with just my data itself. I've spent a ton of time copying files off my Windows partition here onto the external hard drive, and I also wrote myself a little script here. This looks like a bunch of it doesn't look like you probably don't know what all this does, so I'll explain to you here. So this says that I'm using bash commands, which is the terminal like I have right here, and this is the actual backups line here. So this little sudo or sudo as some people call it, tells the computer to run this as an administrator. This is the program that I'm running, which will back everything up for me. This is just passing some things to the backup program, like the A here tells the computer to do hidden files too, and I know that this H tells it so that if it outputs how much data it backed up to do it in something that I can read, like megabytes and gigabytes. And then this all here is most of the script. This is just everything that I put in to tell it, don't bag these files and folders up. And then this tells it if something changed between backups. So I did my initial backup a few days ago. If some between changed between that, if something got deleted between then and now, then also delete it in the backup. This tells it to start from my home folder, which contains everything, and then this tells it where to back it up to, which is my external hard drive. And then this little command here tells it that anything that was written in the buffer, just go ahead and write that to the hard drive. So if I run that, because there has been new things added to that, you can see here all that stuff has been added. I guess I actually changed it just now before I started recording. So just gonna back up some last things there, and then of course in Windows I did it the old-fashioned way and just copied a bunch of files because I didn't want to go looking for a backup solution. I'm more familiar with Linux nowadays. So yeah, so that's my little backup script there. Something I wanted to do in today's video in front of the camera here, at least for today, is this is my USB drive here that I'm gonna create installation media off of, and that is already like a Manjaro installation disk, so I'm just gonna open up a new terminal and just wipe it. So I'm not really sure what to say in here, so I'm just gonna wipe it from the terminal here. So sudo do this as an administrator, ed is the program, the input file is gonna be some file in the file system, which is just a bunch of binary zeros. So I'm gonna write, what I'm gonna do to wipe it is I'm gonna write a bunch of junk to this, unreadable junk, to the drive itself, and the drive is /dev/sdc, and then the block size, not the other thing, is gonna be a kilobyte, and then the amount of blocks there is gonna be 512, so just enough to make it so that you can't read anything off it. Put in my password. That happened really quick, and now there's nothing on there, so now I can go on to Gparted here, which is my favorite partitioning tool if I can find it. I haven't logged into Mate for a while. How is that going there? Alright, still backing up some things. Get my permission, and then had wiped the partition table, for those of you that know what a partition table is. So I've got to create a new partition table. It's gonna be MS-DOS, and then I can create a partition and start writing data to that drive if it doesn't crash. I'm gonna exit this terminal. Okay, looks like it wants me to reboot, so I'll do that here in a second after my backup, my last few backups. Backup here, that is a pretty large file. That's backup of an SD card for my Raspberry Pi. So I'm gonna stop the video and wait for that to finish up, and then I'm gonna reboot and show you what else I'm gonna do here. Note that not all of you might understand what I'm talking about here. because I know how to make it so that you can't read any more data off of this and make it ready to be run to again. Really, I'm going a little hardcore on it, actually. You guys don't need to know how to wipe a USB drive to re-prepare for installation media. I just like to do it this way. Alright, so I'm gonna wait for this to finish up here, and then I'll reboot to let the Linux kernel know that there's a new partition table on there, and then I'll come back. Alright, I'm back, and you might notice that we have a bit of a change in scenery. I'm on the GNOME desktop now instead of the Mate desktop. I don't like Mate as much as I've got configured here. So I'm just gonna come in here and go back to gparted so that I can authenticate, so that I can give a valid partition to the drive here. I actually got 2 USB flash drives in now, so one so I can save this video too. So yeah, the only problem with gparted and the problem with having a 2 terabyte hard drive here is that whenever it starts, or whenever you create partitions or modify partitions and stuff, it needs to go out and make sure, yeah, that's my, that it needs to go out and check all of the drives for partitions to make, and so that with a 2 terabyte hard drive in there, that takes a lot of time. But anyways, I'm just gonna put a new FAT32 file system on here. That's maximum, and apply, and that way I can actually write data to this USB flash drive again. Once again, you really don't need to do this. All you really need to do is delete everything on the drive, but I like to do this instead to just destroy the entire contents of the drive and then put a new partition table and partition on it. So we don't need that anymore. So now I'm going to go to a cool program called Etcher, which will write the contents of my ISO file onto the USB drive. I am going to do Ubuntu 1910, and then once 2004 LTS comes around, I'll go ahead and upgrade myself to that. So within the next few months, you're probably going to see multiple changes in scenery to my recording here. So first of all, I'm going to make sure that this is the right drive. SDC, I want the SDC one, but I don't want this one. That is a drive with data that I don't want deleted on. No, I'm even gonna eject that guy, because I don't want to accidentally write something to there. So I'm going to go into my ISO folder. You can see I collect a ton of ISO files on here. So here it is, and then I'm just gonna flash, and then I'm going to authenticate. I don't know if you guys can see that authentication screen or not. It might be like a user account control from Windows 7. But so yeah, and then this will just flash to the USB flash drive there, and then when I'm ready to, later in the week, I can install my operating system from this flash drive. So I'll keep you updated on that. So I'm gonna speed this next portion of the video up, so that you can see all of this happening. Alright, so that is done. So I will be ready for in a couple days when I am ready to actually get the show on the road and actually install this. So yeah. Oh, let's go on to the next clip in which I start installing stuff. Hello guys, and here we are here. This is a couple days later, and for me in real life. The last clip that you saw was on the computer. Now I'm recording this with my phone, and I'm actually got audio coming through my mic. My phone sounds like this. I don't know how worse that sounds, but I'm actually capturing this with my if we come over here, kind of point the camera over there, you can see that I am actually recording this audio with my HP Pavilion DV 9000 that I got about a month ago. So yeah, in this clip I'm going to go ahead and boot off of the USB that we prepared in the last clip. And so if we power this on and hit F10 so that we can go into the BIOS. Once the BIOS comes up, and then choose English. Boot order, you can see that I do have a USB device as the first thing there. So F10, enter. And that should boot off of our newly prepared USB with 1910 on it, Ubuntu 1910. So that is the boot screen of the USB. Whenever Ubuntu boots, this is the screen that always shows up. And so, this is mainly to test that like the kernel will work, and that it'll recognize like my Wi-Fi card in there. Whenever, of course, I would do this later as well, but I'm just doing this to make sure that when the day comes to actually be installing everything, it will be all good, and I'll know that everything is compatible and not having to go out and burn another USB of a different operating system. So we don't really have any drive activity. I'm hoping things are okay. This monitor is weird, where like it doesn't show some of the things. I'm not completely sure what that's for. I'll get my fingers out. And I'm gonna try again. Yeah, if you just push it in one time and it turns completely off, you know something was wrong there. So let's try this again. Alright, we get the boot screen once again. And our USB is flashing there. We have no hard drive activity. And that looks a lot better. There we go. That looks more like normal. I don't know what happened there. I'll try to hold my phone better. So yeah, this is for those of you that don't know. If you go to my about screen, you can see all the hardware that I have on my computers. This is the HP Compact Elite 8000 computer right here, and then this is a Spectra, I don't know like what pronunciation is best. E16 monitor. It's a relatively small monitor, but I don't have too much room in this area, so I wanted to make sure I get a monitor that'll fit. So yeah, this is gonna take time to load. See, USB light there is flashing. But yeah, if you notice that my levels are a bit different, like I'm louder than usual, I'll try to get that better in post-production. But I'm recording on another computer, so, and I don't really want to reset my levels. I've got my level on the mic itself, the volume level, to where usually, as you can see, I have a little piece, if I turn on the flash here, see I have a little piece of tape there with a little marking of where it's usually set. I'll turn that off. Wonder if it would help. No, that looks. I'm starting to get some activity there. Occasionally you hear the hard drive go. It's taking a long time to boot, but it doesn't seem to be doing much of anything. At least, okay, we're starting to get some USB. There's our mouse cursor there, and there we go. The Ubuntu 1910 default wallpaper is there. So I'm just gonna hit try Ubuntu. Okay, we've got the mouse. And here comes the desktop. Alright, so first thing I noticed, we got a wrong screen resolution, so let's fix that here. The animations don't seem to be as fast, but I can turn off the animations. Yeah, that was not very good, but let's go into the settings here. This is the GNOME desktop, by the way. And there is my, it looks like my Wi-Fi is working just fine right now. And, let's go into display here, probably in devices, yep, and change. I'm gonna have to do the hack that I did earlier. For some reason, this doesn't like see that this monitor's native resolution is 1366 by 768. So what you actually have to do is put in a few commands to make sure that it gets that way, and that happened to me on my host on Ubuntu 16.04 a while ago. So I'm gonna see if I can go into here and just copy it in. Alright, it recorded through. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this and I think might be it. No. Might be in my home folder. Just a second, let me find this here. I'm not too worried about the camera anymore right now, so. Show home files. .x profile. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so those are the commands I have to put in here. So let's copy those into a terminal. It's hard to do this with one hand. So for those of you that didn't know, Control Alt and T together opens up a terminal in Ubuntu. So Control Shift V pastes the commands. And there we go, native resolution. Looks a lot better. Alright, so I'm gonna have to, this file is supposed to be backed up, so that shouldn't be any big problem. But another thing that you can see in here is that these two drives aren't here. These are two partitions of one drive. So obviously the USB 3 controller is working, and if I log in to my Wi-Fi network, here you go, you can see that I'm logged into Wi-Fi, and I can surf the web. I should be able to surf the web just fine. My first test will be going to my server. But of course, Firefox loads default pages too. No, that's just the default page. So, I'm at 192.168.0.29. Not 2 plus 9. And yeah, I can surf the web just fine. There's my server there, and then Control T, open up a new tab, and go to youtube.com. And there we go, we've got YouTube here. So yeah, internet access is just fine. Now the next test I would have with my mic, so I'm gonna have to unplug this from my computer here, which just locked up. I'm hoping the audio is fine. Alright, it recorded through. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this, and now you're hearing from my phone, which is just great, but I unplugged that in there, and we've got a mess of wires here. Let me turn on some light so that you guys can see. This is my microphone here. I'd focus, and I just plug in there and turn that off. Alright. Can we see that is the microphone here able to be seen? Because I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to install a driver for that. So, settings. Style Deja Vu. That's the backup manager. So let's go into sound. And alright, so I don't want to use that. A USB audio driver is in, that is great. We can test that here.
Left, right.
And then it looks like my microphone here is, oh, that's loud. I'm not completely sure how I am going to configure this. They don't seem to have much of a thing that you like 100%. This looks like pitch levels are going to be too loud, so maybe somewhere like this. But yeah, I think that is pretty good. So and due to the magic of video editing, well, in a couple seconds here I am at the same point that I am right now. We'll see you in a few days or in a few seconds, I guess. Yeah, I tried to do like a clever little transition there, but it's the next day. It is Thursday the 16th, and I just wanted to come back onto here and just to say a last goodbye. And this has been like my setup for a good pretty much ever since I got this computer. I actually refurbished this computer myself. It wasn't working, and once I got interested in the computers, this computer was just kind of laying around, and so I took it. I'm just making sure OBS is recording here, and I installed Windows 7 on it. And so yeah, I want to pretty much, when I started Windows, I wanted to get OBS going as soon as possible because I wanted to capture this. The patch Tuesday, this was one of the updates, and to all Windows and PCs, this is full screen. Like, even if I alt tab to something like the desktop, or like this random Form 1 window there, or try to go into OBS, it just is like by default on top. So I'm lucky I have a little tray icon here in OBS that I can start and stop recording. Let me see if I can actually modify this process. I think that's it. No, looks like there's not really anything I can do to make that not always be on top. So yeah, so this is the message that Windows 7 users are getting. There's don't remind me again, remind me later, and learn more here. And learn more just sends you to the Microsoft website. But yeah, I just wanted to get OBS running as fast as possible so that when this came up, I had it on capture. So I'm just gonna hit don't remind me again. This is gonna be the last time I see this, and really that I see Windows. This is gonna be the only time you guys really see how I use Windows, because I have this like own personal theme that I have with this like brownish tinge that I always like change the theme before I start recording. So I'm gonna hit don't remind me again, and I'm gonna alt tab that out like that. Alright. Yeah, this is my custom theme this is when I started doing like when I got Windows 7, I installed it all by myself here, but I started creating that theme, and I have multiple themes. So I created this Windows XP theme. You do have to do some modification to the taskbar, but it's pretty nice. And then we have a classic theme I made for it, because I also, for a while, I was in the 9X style with the classic theme, and so I wanted to like have like a mix between the XP and 9X theme. So, and then I also made like a KD theme. It doesn't really fully represent. It was mostly a reason to have. I really liked the older KDE sounds, so it's mostly just an excuse to have a theme to put those sounds in there. So this is where my theme is usually at here. Of course, the rest of these themes I looked at again in my farewell Windows 7 video. So yeah, it has like a bunch of custom backgrounds like this. It's a screenshot of one of the apps I made in MIT App Inventor. And I never really come on here anymore, but I just thought I'd look back on it just to give a final goodbye, because I didn't really do that last time I logged on to Windows. I didn't expect that to be the last time that I logged on to Windows here. Yeah. So I think it's time to give Windows 7 a final use background for transition. Did I accidentally change something? Yeah, it's supposed to be 20 minutes. Not. Oh, great, I just ruined it. Cancel. Alright, there we go. But yeah, it's time for the final shutdown. You guys aren't really gonna be able to see this because I want to be mostly on screen recording software here, and so it's time for the final shutdown of Windows 7. And yeah, goodbye. Okay, that was completely fake as well. I just wanted to start. My levels are looking a little high there. I'm gonna just turn those down a bit. That looks better. But I didn't actually shut down, as you can probably tell. But I just because in video editing and stuff, I always have my video files on other USB here. That I always copy my files to, so you can see like these things here, like these are all my other clips I recorded are all on these on this USB drive, and something I noticed is that the default was no longer set to VLC, it was set back to Windows Media Player. And so when I right-clicked this WAV file in Ubuntu, there's Windows Media Center. I had completely forgotten that Windows Media Center existed on here. Now that I have video files on this machine, I can actually experience Windows Media Center. And I just I'm like, I have to start recording here. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't show up and start, but yeah. Yay. Alright, continue. Alright, well, this is take 2. I'm on Ubuntu now. My first take, when I was gonna talk about my screen capture software, which is Kazam over here on Ubuntu. When I opened up Kazam to show people, I guess I messed it up. And so this is take 2. So here I am on the Ubuntu desktop. This is mostly what it would look like on startup. Of course, I had another startup before this. It starts up with the terminal open, and whenever a terminal opens, I've set up so it gives this nice screen fetch. It doesn't look as good when it's highlighted. It looks really messy, but and I usually start it up in GNOME, but of course this is 1604 originally. Came with Unity, but I kind of got off of that. Yeah, I'm using Kazam to record, and I used to use, this is before my YouTube channel was a thing, but I used to use a program called Simple Screen Recorder. Problem with that is that it can't do audio both from the speakers, which I'm gonna turn up this, no, not the microphone, I'm gonna turn up the speakers because it was a little quiet earlier. But it can't do both the microphone and the speakers, which is kind of a deal breaker because the only way you would be able to hear my speakers is through a microphone, and it's like a cardio mic, and so I can't really record good audio from behind it, which is good because if like someone walks down the stairs or like opens the door that's by me, you guys won't be able to hear it as well. But my speaker is also behind the microphone, so that's a bit of a problem. So I want to record the speakers as well as the microphone, and Kazam does that. I do like Simple Screen Recorder better though, so I wish I could use that. So yeah, this is Ubuntu. It took a while for me to be able to use Ubuntu. So when I got this computer, when I saw Windows 7, I had fun with Windows 7. But then I heard of this Linux thing, and I heard of Ubuntu, and I heard that you could dual boot, and I also heard of Wubi, which is W-U-B-I, which is an old thing that Ubuntu did where you would install that, and then with Windows Boot Manager, like, you could choose whether to boot into Ubuntu or Windows. But that was like supported a while ago, wasn't supported with 1604, and so that didn't, obviously I couldn't get that to work, so then I went to dual booting, which I'm glad I did. But for a long time, the wireless didn't work for some reason. And so, because of that, I didn't really do anything with 1604. That was just annoyance at that time, because with Grub, it'll always default to Ubuntu. And so, I think it was a couple summers later, I found out how you could use Raspberry Pi to share the network, like wireless network, and then share it over Ethernet. And so now I had the ability to get this online, and ever since then I've been playing it with it a lot more. and I log into here more than I log into Windows. My video recording, but yeah, even I'm starting to record more in Ubuntu rather than Windows. I talked about this in the last clip that was weird. Like I was talking about the last clip when Kazam kind of stopped running, that window, I figured out that the last thing that I recorded in Windows was my video of how many versions of Windows NT can fit like on one hard drive in a virtual machine, and that was around 5-6 months ago. So yeah, not that I've uploaded a ton of videos since then, maybe 10, but still find that to be kind of big. So of course this is where I do all my video editing at. I do web browsing in Chromium here because that's what's in the 1604 repositories, and I'm not a huge fan of Firefox myself, although if you give me time I might be able to start using it full time, but I'm just using Chromium right now. And then I've got a few app images, so of course, like I said, I do all my video editing on here. So yeah, and then I have GIMP over here. That's where I do all my thumbnails, and my logo was done in conjunction with GIMP and another program that I have, Inkscape, which is like the Adobe Illustrator alternative here. It looks a little old, but it works fine. I don't really come in here that often, but when I do, I do enjoy using Inkscape. And then I have VirtualBox on here. I do my virtual machine things on VirtualBox. Oh yeah, and the other, like a while ago, I figured out that now the wireless works, so now I do all wireless on here. But yeah, so that's about it for 1604. I've probably been on 1604 and Windows 7 in conjunction, like the total amount of time I spent on them. Ubuntu 1604 maybe a little less than Windows, but still, it doesn't seem like I've used this that much. But yeah, I learned a few things about Linux on here, and I like it. So I'll be sad to see this go, of course. Next year when 1604 loses support, so will Unity, because Indy 7, because Canonical killed Unity a while back. It's still being maintained to this day, but when Ubuntu 1604 goes, so does Unity. Alright, this is the third take of me doing this. Like, the other times when I've done this, things have happened, and like my audio wasn't recording, but here I am on the Ubuntu 1910 Live CD desktop. It is the next day, and so it is time to actually install it. So you can see here, I got the same thing going that I did a few clips ago, where the audio is being captured from my microphone by my HP Pavilion DV9000 over there. So now it's time to actually wipe the install. Let's go ahead and do the install Ubuntu 1910 on there, and here's the Ubiquity installer here. We've got a language selection, but I do speak English, as you can hear, and I'm in the US, so I'm going to do the US keyboard layout, and I'm just going to connect to the internet here. Alright, now we are connected to the internet, So we are going to do a normal installation here. We are not going to download updates on Ubuntu, but we are going to install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware. So the Ubiquity installers are pretty nice installer. It's pretty easy to figure out. Just gonna make sure that everything's recording, because if things aren't recording and I wipe the install, then that's like a huge chunk out of the video that I'm gonna have to explain why it wasn't in the video. And this is like the big event of the video here. So it's gonna load right now. It's just scanning the hard drive. I do have my external hard drive disconnected, as you can see there, just because I don't want it accidentally formatting that and flung to that, because then all my backups are gone. Or like installing the bootloader there or something. It's taken a while. Of course, I have a 2 terabyte hard drive in there, so it's like scanning the partitions, and it's also looking for my operating systems, which is Windows and Ubuntu. That's what it's doing right there. You can see we've got the hard drive activity light is going. Let's focus the camera here. I'm recording on my phone again. Alright, here we go. So the computer currently has Windows 7 and Ubuntu 16.04.6 LTS on it. What would you like to do? I'm going to erase the disk and install Ubuntu. Now this new thing here is, if I can focus, to erase the disk and use ZFS as a completely experimental thing, and I'm not gonna worry about that. So we will, if I can focus, let's install now. There's no turning back after I hit continue. So one last check to make sure everything is recording. Yes, we got our Audacity recording over there. And then my phone, a little red light is going with a little timer of how much I've been recording for. Say continue. And goodbye. It is gonna load, like, confirm like what it's about to do. Oh no, because firstly I am in the central time zone, not too far away from Chicago. And then it's gonna load here. Alright, so let's enter in my credentials here. Alright, I've got everything typed in, so if we can focus here, I'm going to hit continue. And now it's going to start the installation process. It's just going to wipe the drive and install 1910. So yeah, this is going to take a while. I might do this in the form of a time lapse. Yeah, I'll probably do that. So you'll have to like be fine with the little shakes here. I have the like a little like timestamp of when the install is done coming on the screen about now, so go ahead and fast forward to this point here to skip the installation. If you like get motion sickness from that like going on all the time, then that's probably a good idea. So yeah, of course we got the slideshow going on here. Find even more software, and yeah. I'm just like showing off the Ubuntu Software Center. Before I start the time lapse, I'm just gonna go through all these. So take your music with you. It comes with the Rhythm Box music player, which is like a music manager that's included with GNOME, but Spotify and VLC are available. Here's some like photo management software, so it comes with Shotwell, but it also has you can install GIMP and PTV. And then it includes Firefox, but you can also install Chromium. And then it comes with the LibreOffice suite, not the entire thing, just Writer, Calc, and Impress, which is the document writer, the Excel spreadsheet, and the PowerPoint presentation software. And then here you can customize things like the appearance. If you need any universal access things, yeah, and it includes that too, and also multiple languages that you can install. And then here's some links to where you can find help, but also where you can donate to Ubuntu. You can see official documentation. There's the Ask Ubuntu forum, and yeah. So yeah, now for the time lapse. I'm gonna remove this USB drive, and I'm gonna press enter. And once we get the screen recorder installed, which will probably be one of the first things that I do, because I'm gonna get back onto the screen so that you guys don't have to deal with this way of recording with my phone shaking, and like you guys will be able to see the screen way better and not have focus issues. And of course, then I'll plug in my microphones then we don't have it will take less work for me in post-production because right now I'm gonna have to edit the microphone on top of the audio from my phone, which won't be too bad, but still it's more for me to do. Alright, so you don't have any hard drive activity. I'm just gonna let's just try resetting my computer again. And you can see here, this is Grub, and you guys probably didn't actually see the actual Grub configuration for when I before I wipe this, but under here would be Windows 7 and Windows 7 loader at /dev/sda. But yeah, let's just go into Ubuntu now. And we've got hard drive activity. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'm not sure if it's too quiet for this to pick up or what's going on, but we have the Ubuntu logo and we have the loading dots. It looks like I'm still gonna have to put in that patch where I include the ability to go to this monitor's native resolution. I guess maybe an update like broke that because that happened the 1604 too, like before the new year, and so it was in let's see, what resolution is this in right now? You can see there 1024 by 768. That's where it was before, and yeah, that's pretty bad. But I'm gonna type in my password here, and I'm gonna put the camera down so I have two hands to type with. And then we have a mouse and it's loading GNOME, and that's probably faster than 1604. The sign-in was. So here we go. Here's the Ubuntu welcome screen. So here's an option to connect with online accounts. I didn't even do that when I was on 1604, so I'm just not gonna do that. And then here is a pretty controversial pop-up that was included from 18.04. Pretty much this will send all this information, so pretty much only your hardware and nothing else, to Canonical, so that they can help improve Ubuntu. They can take this into account and see like, oh, this, like 30% of people are still running 32-bit processors. We should probably start supporting 32-bit again. That's not true, but like, yeah, things like that. And I've got a dual-core CPU, so with only one thread per each core and things like that. And some of those things might be useful for Canonical to know, and they do ask you. So I'm gonna say yes, I'm gonna send that information to Canonical, and I'm gonna turn off location services, and there we go. We are ready to configure things. So of course software updater is gonna come up. I don't do my things through software updater. The very first thing I want to do is get Kazam. So let's open up a terminal here and sudo apt update to update the cache and put in my username there. And there, yeah, we gotta do system updates. But first I'm gonna sudo apt. You don't have to do this through the terminal. You can perfectly fine go to the Ubuntu Software Center. I just prefer to do things through the terminal. So install and Kazam, and we'll do -y to automatically choose yes you want to install. Alright, so I think it's about time to not be recording with my microphone anymore, so I'm gonna go over and